Water has been on the earth forever and has fueled life since the beginning of time. Water has benefited humans and animals more than anything else. You all may be wondering how water has stayed on the earth so long. The answer is pretty simple. Water has been staying on the earth because of the water cycle. The water cycle is the path by which water moves through the air and land. There are several different ways of transportation for water to get around. The different forms consist of evaporation, condensation, precipitation, accumulation, surface runoff, infiltration, transpiration, groundwater, and sublimation. This video will explain each of those complicated terms. Condensation and precipitation are also two functions of the water cycle. Both condensation and precipitation happen in the air. Condensation is the grouping of water droplets inside the air. It is also the turning point for water vapor to transform back into precipitation. Precipitation has different forms, and all of them are different forms of water falling to the ground. A few of the different forms of precipitation consist of rain, snow, sleet, and hail. Surface runoff is one of my favorite forms of transportation that water has. Surface runoff happens when there is rain or some type of precipitation and all the water soaks into the earth like a sponge. But when the sponge reaches its full capacity of holding water, surface runoff begins. Evaporation and transpiration are two different words, but they both have similar meanings. They both mean to evaporate. Transpiration is the evaporation of water off of plants or leaves, while evaporation is just the evaporation of water in general. Accumulation happens when precipitation occurs and the precipitation collects up. A few examples are puddles, lakes, rivers, and snow piles. Also, any of these states can stay in that one form for an extended period of time. Infiltration and groundwater are also two forms of the water cycle. Infiltration is when water accumulates on the top of the soil and leaks through the ground, which then causes groundwater. Groundwater is underground water that helps agriculture and supplies a good percent of our drinking water. Sublimation is when ice changes to water vapor and skips the liquid state. Oil spills from ships in the ocean are one of the ways pollution affects water. This is because only 1 quart of oil can contaminate up to 250,000 gallons of water. Based on that, you can only imagine how greatly the water cycle is affected by oil spills in a negative way. All of these difficult words may seem overwhelming, but they are all very crucial and important parts of the water cycle. Thank you for listening as I explained the water cycle in full detail.